Hello and welcome to Diabetes Connections in the News. I'm Stacey Sims, and these are the top diabetes stories and headlines of the past 7 days. If you are new here, welcome. We go live on social media first, and then all sources linked up at diabetes-connections.com when this airs as a podcast. Are you looking to get organized? Diabetes supplies can really add up, and all that pump and CGM stuff, or even shots and wipes and strips, can clutter everything up. I've got a great new guide to help you out. It'll get you started and keep you organized. It's totally free, and it's over on the podcast homepage. Our top story this week, big movement from the U.S. FDA, 2 approvals that we have been waiting for. The first came just today, Tandem Mobile Bolus, what I've been calling bolus by phone. As expected, company says when released, this will be at no additional cost for in-warranty customers through a remote software update. There will be a limited launch in the spring. They've already picked the people for that, followed by an expanded launch this summer. It is compatible with both iOS and Android, although limited to just a couple of models of phone right now. This is a very important step, not just for customer convenience, but as Tandem moves forward with its new hardware line, including Mobi, which will need an external device for full control. The second FDA approval came through for the Eversense E3 continuous glucose monitor. This 180-day implantable sensor will be available later this year. If you're not familiar, you have the sensor. It's inserted under the skin of the upper arm and removed every 6 months by a trained healthcare provider. There's a rechargeable transmitter which vibrates on the body for highs and lows, and a mobile app. The sensor requires 2 calibrations per day for the first 21 days of wear. After that, it requires 1 calibration. A lot of questions here. I'm talking to these folks for an upcoming episode. Look for that in about 2 weeks. I saw an interesting post from Omnipod this week on Instagram, all about Pat Potter. Did you see this? The caption says she is, quote, a longtime member of the Pod Squad who loves a good DIY project, going swimming, and to explore new places. When you take a look at the animation, along with the hashtag that Instagram used here, hashtag Animal Crossing, are we about to see a gaming crossover? Insulet says an announcement is coming probably Thursday of this week. So if you're listening to the podcast, this may have already happened. I will be sure to follow up. There's been a big push in Germany to get doctors to screen very young kids for type 1. This group conducted the world's largest population-based screening for type 1 in kids so far. Since 2015, any child aged 2 to 5 years in Bavaria, Germany, could have their blood tested for islet and autoantibodies. These show early-stage type 1 diabetes years before high blood sugars and other symptoms. More than 90,000 kids have been tested, and 0.31% have been diagnosed. Next up is to take a deep dive into the potential cost savings and increased quality of life compared to what happens without these early screenings. All right, this one is a mouse study, but good potential here for a drug to treat type 2. It works by amplifying a protein that has a positive effect on insulin. The protein is called SWEL1. It is vital for normal insulin secretion from pancreatic cells. And SWEL1 activity seems to be significantly disrupted in people with type 2. Fixing that looks like it restores both insulin sensitivity and insulin secretion, and it does this without lowering blood glucose when that is not needed. Long way to go, but promising. The Sparrow Rose campaign is back, focusing on Valentine's Day, but continuing through February. The idea here is that instead of buying a dozen roses, you buy 11 and donate the value of that last flower to help somebody with diabetes. Since starting in 2013, Sparrow Rose has raised almost $400,000. Most of that has gone to Life for a Child, but now the donations are going to go to Insulin for Life global organization. It provides insulin supplies, education, and advocacy to children and adults. And with that, the name has changed from Spare a Rose, Save a Child to Spare a Rose, Save a Life. And more type 1 at the Olympics. Last week, I told you about snowboarder Kamila Kazubak, who was diagnosed at age 13. Well, Czech skeleton athlete Anna Fernstadova came in 7th a couple of days ago. A month ago, she was in the hospital being diagnosed with diabetes. And she wrote on Instagram, quote, 7th place at the Olympic Games. Not the runs I wanted, not the result I wanted, but these are happy tears. Not even a month ago, I was in hospital without knowing what would happen, but we made it happen. Thanks to everyone who got me here and to everyone who is also dealing with type 1 diabetes. She writes, everything is possible. You got this. Our long format episode this week is with the folks at Ciggy Pump, a new tubeless rechargeable pump that got breakthrough device designation last fall. It's in the pipeline. They are hoping to bring it to the U.S. in the next couple of years. And of course, with these FDA approvals that I mentioned, I am talking to the folks from Eversense. That'll be in about 2 weeks. We're going to talk to Tandem about Mobile Bolus and how that will really work and whether they think that it'll stay on just these 2 phone models for the foreseeable future. I'm pretty sure that they are working to get it to many more phones than that. There's a lot going on right now. It looks like that COVID logjam at the FDA has lifted. All right, that is in the news for this week. If you like it, please share it. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you back here soon.
Diabetes Connections is a production of Stacey Sims Media. All rights reserved, all wrongs avenged.